Welcome back to USA Legends Who Died channel. Today we gather to pay tribute to the remarkable acting talents we have recently lost. We will recap the lives of these stars and celebrate the legacies they leave behind. Before we begin, please take a moment to give this video a like as a sign of respect. Your support is vital to our mission of keeping these legends' memories alive. Thank you for your kindness, and let's begin the tribute. Angela Pleasence, the distinguished British actress whose quiet intensity shaped decades of stage and screen, passed away on April 10, 2026, at the age of 84. No cause of death has been publicly disclosed, marking a quiet end to a career defined by depth rather than spectacle. Born in South Yorkshire to acclaimed actor Donald Pleasence and Miriam Raymond, she trained at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art before making her stage debut in 1964 as Titania in A Midsummer Night's Dream. While her father was celebrated among the elite American stars for his legendary roles in Hollywood, Angela carved her own path at the National Theatre and in the West End. She built a lasting television presence in Coronation Street, Casualty, The Bill, and Doctor Who. Her leading role in the psychological horror film Symptoms remains a defining moment, showcasing her rare ability to convey tension with subtle precision. If you appreciate our dedication to covering the nuanced lives of such remarkable artists, please subscribe to support more content like this. Despite her lineage, Pleasence faced the quiet challenge of forging her own identity beyond a famous name. Often working without the visibility her talent warranted, she chose complexity over fame, carving out a career of integrity in an industry driven by attention. In the end, her legacy speaks softly but endures, proof that true artistry is not measured by spotlight, but by the lasting impression it leaves behind. Robert Fox, the influential British producer who spent a lifetime shaping the stage from behind the curtain, passed away on March 20, 2026, at his home in London at the age of 73. His wife confirmed the cause as prostate cancer, marking the end of a career that quietly defined generations of theater. Born into a prominent theatrical family in West Sussex, Fox understood the language of actors from an early age. Over 5 decades, he produced landmark works across the West End and Broadway, including The Audience, which later inspired Netflix's The Crown, where he served as an executive producer and earned multiple Emmy nominations. He also won 2 Tony Awards for God of Carnage and Skylight, cementing his reputation as a producer of rare instinct and taste. Yet his career was not without strain. Known for absorbing pressure himself, he often shielded actors and writers from the chaos behind productions, navigating egos, financial risks, and the unpredictability of live theater with quiet resolve. Robert Fox never sought the spotlight, but in protecting it for others, he ensured that it shone brighter than ever. His immense contribution to the arts is now being honored across many celebrity tributes 2026, reminding us that his influence will be felt long after he was gone. Breaking news! Richard Gere was once the man every great love story seemed to need, a face that defined romance for an entire generation. Yet the life he lived away from the screen followed a far quieter and far more complicated path that few truly understood. At 76, he no longer stands under the constant glare of Hollywood lights, but behind the calm life he has chosen today lies a journey shaped by doubt, loss of direction, public distance, and a long search for meaning beyond applause. He was born in 1949 in Philadelphia and raised in a modest, disciplined household where stability existed, but emotional connection often felt distant. As a child, he was not loud or attention-seeking, but observant, reserved, and often standing just outside the center of things. While others seemed to move easily through school life, and he carried a quiet sense of not fully belonging. Music became his refuge early on, especially the trumpet, which allowed him to express feelings he rarely spoke aloud. That inward nature, once seen as a weakness, would later become the same stillness that drew audiences to him. His early adult years were marked by uncertainty and struggle. After leaving university, he moved between cities like New York and Boston, facing repeated rejection in auditions and living with very little money. There were days when he had to choose between food and transportation, and nights spent in small, cold rooms where doubt grew stronger than hope. Casting directors often dismissed him as too quiet or too intense, and for a time it seemed the world simply moved past him without notice. Yet he stayed, holding on to something he could not fully explain. Everything changed in 1980 with American Gigolo, a film that transformed him into a global symbol almost overnight. This was followed by An Officer and a Gentleman and later Pretty Woman in 1990, which became a worldwide success and secured his place among Hollywood's biggest stars. He was admired for his elegance, confidence, and emotional presence, earning millions per film and building a fortune that would eventually reach around $200 million. But behind that success, a different reality began to take shape, one filled with pressure, identity conflict, and a growing sense that the image the world loved did not fully reflect who he was. A major turning point came in 1993 during the Academy Awards, when he spoke publicly about Tibet in a moment that went beyond the script. The reaction was not loud or immediate, but it was lasting. Opportunities began to fade, relationships within the industry grew distant, and his once steady career path became uncertain. Years later, he described this period not as a sudden fall, but as a slow silence that gradually replaced recognition. Public controversy followed again in 2007 during an event in India, where a gesture intended as kindness was misunderstood and quickly escalated into backlash. Although the situation was later resolved, it reinforced a difficult truth he had already begun to understand. That intention does not always protect a person from judgment. In recent years, his life has shifted away from fame towards something quieter and more grounded. Living in Spain with his wife Alejandra Silva and their children, he has embraced a slower rhythm centered on family, reflection, ease, and humanitarian work. His long commitment to Tibetan causes and global charities has become a defining part of his identity. In 2023, a battle with pneumonia reminded him of his physical limits, but also deepened his appreciation for balance, care, and the people closest to him. Today, Richard Gere is no longer defined by the roles that once made him famous, but by the choices he made when fame began to lose its meaning. If his story has ever made you reflect on love, success, or the search for something deeper, then perhaps his greatest legacy is not the image he gave the world, but the life he chose to build beyond it, quietly, honestly, and on his own terms. Sophie Naiwide, the former child actress whose early performances carried a quiet, emotional weight beyond her years, passed away on April 14, 2025, in Bennington, Vermont, at the age of 24. Authorities are investigating her death as a possible unintentional overdose, following reports of substance use, bringing a tragic end to a life marked by both promise and unseen struggle. Born in Burlington, Vermont, Sophie grew up surrounded by film, quite literally sleeping in her mother's cinema as a child. She began acting at a young age, appearing in Bella, 2006, before gaining wider recognition in Mammoth, 2009, and An Invisible Sign, 2010. We aim to tell the human stories behind the silver screen, and your subscription helps us share these journeys with more people. Critics once noted, she should have a glowing future, and her presence alongside famous actors and the occasional singer transitioning to the screen hinted at a rising path. Yet behind that early promise lay a far more fragile reality. Her family revealed that she quietly battled deep trauma, turning to self-medication while resisting the help that might have saved her. Those closest to her were left heartbroken, unable to reach her in time. Sophie seemed happiest becoming someone else on screen, but in the end, it was the life she carried within that proved hardest to escape.